This is the jaw-jacking Tuesday Night Impact, and his mother called him son because he shines like one. Mocha Skin Manimal, Rohit Raju, and you are watching Total Nonstop Impact.
This is Taya La Güera Loca, and you are listening to Total Nonstop Impact.
The Walking Weapon, Josh Alexander, and you're listening to Total Nonstop Impact.
We are the Rascals. And you are listening to Total
Nonstop
Impact Podcast, baby.
Woo! And what you're really listening to is Total Nonstop Impact. Don't you dare miss a lesson. Oh, yeah.
What's up, Impact Wrestling? Let's make some noise! This is the good stuff.
Welcome back, everybody, to Total Nonstop Impact. Impact Talk for Impact fans. Featured right here on the TNI Network. This is the Impact Plus Weekly. This is your host, Trent, along with my co-host, the Lollipop. Jaybone! Jaybone, what's happening?
What is up, man?
Say hello to people. My God. My God.
See, I knew you weren't looking, and I'm like, okay, when he turns around, he's going to lose
awesome.
it. That's why
That's awesome. I like it. I like what you got going there. I saw that. Your wife bought you that, right? From what I understand.
Yes, Mrs. Jaybone is back. The bag of 180 dum-dums is right on the other side of this monitor on the back end of my desk. And she got me this. This is actually one of those little like egg things you like unscrew and everything, but I didn't have the heart to open it yet. I'm like, I'm just going to use it as a prop for a while. I'll open it eventually and then put it back together somehow. But this is priceless. You know where she got this thing?
Is it okay? Is it a place in Nashville?
It's a place everywhere.
Rocket Fizz? Is that Rocket Fizz?
No.
No? Oh, okay. Go ahead. Where'd you get it?
Rue 21.
Rue 21?
Rue 21. It was at the checkout, and she's like, oh, my God, I got to get this. And then she started telling the girls, and the girls are just looking at her like.
Wait a minute. Isn't Rue 21 a clothing store?
Yes.
And they got that at a clothing store.
Don't ask me why she was there. I think she was just there with her cousin and her niece. So yeah. But then she hit the checkout and saw this, and she's like, "Oh my God, I got to get this for my husband."
And they're like, "Okay."
yeah. I can only imagine, teenage 20-something-year-old girls at the counter just looking at her like. Crazy bitch.
Well, for those listening on audio, it's a giant dum-dum. If anybody knows Jaybone and the lollipops, it's a giant lollipop the size of his head. So if you want to visit, Jaybone, why don't you tweet out I know you put it up on your social media. Why don't you tweet out a photo of that one of these days? Maybe you let the people see what you're working with there.
It's I'll just tell people, I'll direct them towards the Instagram.
Fair enough.
The Total Nonstop Impact. Oh no, wait. Did you?
Oh, it's on yours.
Okay. I originally shared it on Smash's podcast, and then the TNI Instagram shared the same or similar picture. So yeah. There you go.
All right, guys. How's it going, everybody? Happy Sunday evening. We're the Impact Plus Weekly is a nice little casual show. We check in with everybody over the weekend. How was the weekend? Not too long of a show. We're going to talk Xplosion, a little Impact Plus. What's going on there? Nothing new aside from Xplosion, right, Jaybone? Nothing, no Sammy and Friends. Not too much going on in Impact Plus except for Xplosion. So we'll talk about that. And you guys got any questions for us? We'll talk maybe any topics. The latest Hakeem Fullerton article is out. Top 10 Impact Wrestling stories that will surprise you. Hakeem, go ahead and throw in your Twitter handle or where people can find it. Go ahead and throw that into the chat here. I want everybody to go read your articles because they're amazing.
Please follow Hakeem. Seriously, he puts out some great stuff. He's a friend of the show, and Yeah, just a tremendous Impact Wrestling supporter. Great stuff.
His articles he puts a lot of work, guys, into these top 10 lists and articles. A lot of good stuff. Honestly, make sure if you're reading them, retweet them and tag Impact. Let Impact know what he's doing, because I think this is the kind of stuff that I feel should be on Impact's website. Like they could put this on their website tomorrow. Like that would engage people to talk. I think he'd get those lists are great. And I think eventually, Hakeem, I would love to start doing videos based on your lists. I think that'd be fantastic. Those top 10 lists do great on YouTube. I think people love those kind of lists. You can clip them in with little clips and stuff. We'll see how it goes. But I wouldn't mind just reading them off, honestly, doing a segment eventually when we get a little more time and add some more shows to the network. We can start reading them off. And if you ever want to join Hakeem, you're free to. Anybody wants to join, they can can join and talk about it. Anyway, Gary Rossetti, you are new here. Welcome to the TNI family, my friend. Gary Rossetti, welcome. Make him feel welcome. Very nice. Awesome. Thanks for being here, brother.
Smash that like button and smash that sub button while you're at it. If you're digging the content, we welcome to the show. You're getting a lot of love in the chat. Looks like that's always nice. Yeah. We got a great family here. Trust me.
Guys, make them feel welcome. Let's say hi to some people here, Jaybone. Give me some comments. Amir Neeson in the house. Paul Nelson, Terrence Sullivan, who retweets everything we put out. Terrence, I really appreciate you. You're not the only one, obviously. Hakeem, also a lot of guys. You guys retweet us. Amir, everybody retweets a lot of our stuff. But man, Terrence, I can always count on. If I got a late night tweet, Jay, if I tweet at like 3 a.m. and nobody's up, and I'm like, nobody's gonna see this. That my boy Terrence Sullivan's got me right there. He's got me on a retweet every time. I'm like, got some love on my late night tweets. Zach Bonifer going right for the Zach. It's the Lord's Day. You're going for the insult. You're calling Jaybone a dum dum. Terrible. The Lord's Day, Jaybone. Bill Gardner, legend himself in the house. Eric D. Hoff.
It's rough. It's rough being Jaybone sometimes. I'm telling you. I get no respect.
No respect at all. Let's see. Paul Nelson. Who else is in here? Paul Nelson, all the way from Hawaii. How you doing? Eric's in the house. What else we got here? Man, everybody. Yeah, I guess I love when you guys turn on Sunday. Critical Sting. How you doing? J Rock Freak. Dead Punk Gage. Terrence. Everybody. Very cool. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. We'll talk Xplosion. You guys got any topics? Start throwing them in. People are already talking about the Sunny thing. I think we should talk about that, Jaybone. I think we should talk about that.
We can touch on it. Just put some gloves on while you're touching on it. You don't want to catch nothing from Sunny.
Wash your hands. Listen, guys. We'll bookend the show with that. Those kind of topics and news, since we've been doing that late. Last couple of weeks, I think it's worked out, guys. Where we talk about the topic at hand, and then we'll just got an open floor at the end for the last 10-15 minutes. So very cool, guys. Don't forget, let me just remind everybody here. We'll get to that too. Let's keep that topic up. Don't forget, guys, tomorrow night, NWA TNA throwback show number 28. Things are heating up over there. It is becoming, we're in 2003 now. We're in year 2 of NWA TNA. So we've had a hell of a ride watching those, Jay. I've loved watching them with you. It's like reliving it all over again. It's been awesome. So we got that, guys. Tuesday.
We even had the SATs on last week.
That's right. With the legendary SATs, who are kind of on a comeback, Jay. I mean, they're trying to get back out there. They were gone for a bit. Now they're getting back out when everything opens up. They're ready to go get booked again, huh?
They said they've been training. They said they're ready, and they said there was even rumors of them coming back around the time of this throwback show that got canceled. But they said they weren't ready then. They said they're ready now. So they've been training for a while. They've had some downtime. They're motivated. They're focused. And dude, I'm psyched, man. Whether it's on the indies or if they step back into an Impact Wrestling ring, I'm gonna follow them because, man, I'm a fan. So
yeah. Listen, I'll even pitch their name at AAW in Chicago here if I can get them out. It'd be different. It'd be real different. So we'll see. So we got the SATs on last week, guys. Check out that interview from last week. Tuesday night, don't forget, 30 minutes after Impact ends, we go live with the flagship show, Total Nonstop Impact. Jaybone, myself, Scumbag Kyle, Alicia, and this week's special guest. I think he's confirmed. We got to make sure because last week with the riots and everything going on, things got a little crazy. But we're making sure that Larry Dallas is supposed to be on tomorrow. Or sorry, Tuesday. So we'll see. Polar family in the house too. How's it going, man? A lot of new faces, new names. Elijah Washington's in the house. Very cool. All right, guys. So let's kick it off, Jay. Let's talk. Let's talk about Xplosion. What do we have this week? Looks like it was taped in Atlanta. These are from the Coca-Cola Roxy. And Bill, if you're in the chat, you can confirm that. I think I saw you in the front row. This would look like the Roxy. But basically the last tapings before it all shut down, huh, Jay? This was it.
This was right before they said it was right before Hard to Kill.
Before Hard to Kill. So that wasn't the Roxy that it was? Oh, okay. Weird.
It looked like it was.
I thought it was. Am I wrong?
But that was right before Hard to Kill, wasn't it?
The Roxy was after. The Roxy was taped in March. Early March. So I'll wait till Bill pops in with the confirmation. It looked like the Roxy to me because I don't think it was. I don't think it was.
Because Josh said we're getting ready for Hard to Kill. So
where the hell was this taped? I'm trying to figure that out then.
Was it? It almost looked like what's the one they always do in New York?
It wasn't Melrose. Definitely was not Melrose.
Are you sure it wasn't Melrose?
I don't think that was Melrose. No way. Melrose has a very distinct, compacted feel to it. I've been to Melrose. It didn't look like Melrose to me.
It did, but it had that balcony. That's what made me think.
Yeah, that's true, huh? I don't know if anybody knows. Was that New York Critical's thing? It didn't look like Melrose to me. Did they change the lighting or something? I don't know. Listen, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that could be it. I apologize if I'm mistaken that one. But yeah, Trey Miguel took on Shawn Donovan in the main event of this Xplosion. Well, I guess there's no really main event on Jay. It's just one match. It's a main event every week, Jay. Every week it's a main event.
It's the dark match / main event.
There you go. Let's go with that. I like that Shawn Donovan. I thought he could work. I really enjoyed Shawn Donovan. I actually really liked what he did. I tried finding him on Twitter to tag him, but it was Melrose. Okay, Bill, thanks. I was Melrose. Shoot, I completely. Were the lights different? I guess the lights had to be different because Melrose did a lot brighter.
It did look different. Yeah,
okay.
Like because usually Melrose has a much more defined balcony, and it must have been a combination of lighting and fixtures.
Crazy.
Something. Yeah,
I totally couldn't tell. Cannot tell at all that it was New York. But all right, cool. Sounds good. But yeah, Shawn Donovan was good. I want to put this guy over for a second. Okay, Elijah Washington confirmed it was Melrose too. I apologize, man. I totally couldn't recognize. I've been to Melrose, so
they both look similar. So
yeah, same kind of theater look.
Ballroomish type of
Yeah, I tried finding. Anybody knows Shawn Donovan's social media? I couldn't find him, and I wanted to tag him because I really did like what this guy had to offer. I really liked him, Jay. I thought he was very talented. He wrestled like a good big man. And Trey's great at working with big men like that. Trey really knows how to. That's the thing with Elgin now too. Like that kid can work with a big man, dude. I got to give it to him. He's very flexible in that sense.
Is as oddly placed as this Xplosion match was placed, it actually shows perfectly the broad talents of a guy like Trey Miguel, that he's not just a guy that bounces all over inside and outside of the ring. The guy can work with, someone like Shawn Donovan. He can work with someone like Mike Elgin, who's a little thicker, who's a little more ground-based, not so high-flying, a little more mechanical. It just shows the well-roundedness to a guy like Trey. And this match is as insignificant as you may think it is. It actually puts him over even more. I mean, when, it's like, okay, you assume he's going to win against a guy that we're not aware of. Mm-hmm. But if you look at the mechanics of how the match went, and then you look at everything else that Trey's been doing over the last few months, it's like, man, Trey is really something. He's and nothing against Wentz or Dez. Wentz just headlined the last episode, which was tremendously out of nowhere
and blew everybody away. I gotta say,
he did. But Trey is really standing out from the other two guys in a special way. And they're like, please don't take that as he's putting down the other two guys. No. I got love for all the guys. But Trey getting a chance to shine like this on different levels and different episodes, man, it's awesome. Just shows how awesome and diverse this roster is one more time.
No, definitely. I liked it a lot. I wouldn't mind seeing Shawn Donovan back. I gotta say, guys, I really dug this kid, and he was good. Trey gets the win on this one. But man, I wouldn't mind seeing this guy back. I would not mind taking a look at this guy because he showed me something. I mean, I don't know where you'd put him. I don't know if you'd sign him, but he could definitely be a utility player in the company for Xplosion. He could be like an Xplosion guy, like have good matches on Xplosion. Because you need guys to headline those kind of shows too, or at least be anchors for those shows too, I think.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Because not everybody's in a storyline. So you got to put them somewhere. You got to feature them somewhere.
You need guys, who can work out with the other guys and take some moves, help guys perfect other moves, things like that. So I'd be down. I'd be down for that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, let's see. That'd be cool. Trey gets the win on that one. Around the ring was fun. It was fun.
Oh, jeez.
It was David Penzer. I like Penzer doing this. Penzer doing these is great. If he's staying with the company, absolutely keep Penzer on these. I wouldn't mind keeping Penzer on these. But he did it with Susie. Hi, I'm Susie, and it was extreme. Oh, Shawn, thank you, Bill. I tried finding him. I couldn't tag him. I couldn't find him. I looked like hell, but okay. Thank you. I'm gonna follow him after this on the show account. Guys, follow us on We Talk Impact on Twitter. I'm going to follow Shawn Donovan. Susie with David Penzer was great. It was like he was so uncomfortable, and I think for a shoot, I think at one point he just got uncomfortable. He's like, "Okay, like I can't get an answer here at all."
He kept it flowing perfectly, the best he could in a situation like this. I'm sure they had some kind of dialogue going into this.
Yeah.
But she's so good at Susie and so laid back and so carefree, and yet I'm putting a new word in the English language here, dingbatish.
I like it.
It's a little all in the family throwback.
I like one of the best shows of all time, Jay. One of the best shows of all time.
I grew up on it, and it's controversial at times, but
it's great. It's a great show, though. Controversy or not, it's a fantastic show. Well, good. Yeah, that was fun. It was. We can't really explain it. I can't really break that interview down, guys. Get your Impact Plus, fire it up to the Xplosion. Just watch this. It's like what, maybe 5 minutes, Jay? That's 5 of the most uncomfortable minutes ever.
Yeah, it's Penzer pulling at teeth and a whole lot of hi, I'm Susie's. It's
Susie. Oh, it was great. Definitely, I highly recommend it. But yeah, those are the two new segments. Jay, you got the throwback segments. You want to mention those real quick? One's a throwback, one's a recap.
The throwback was from Sacrifice 2012, and the background. Well, the match itself was Angle versus Styles.
Classic.
Now that on paper, you look at it and you go, "Oh, yeah, it's an instant classic." But what Trent and I were talking about right before we went live, just to put a little background, surrounding this, is they said this during the match. They didn't show clips from it, but they said this during the match, that this is when Kazarian and Christopher Daniels were messing with Styles and bringing up stuff from his past, some controversial stuff. And it wasn't all clicking, and all of a sudden Trent goes, "Oh, the Claire Lynch storyline," and I'm like, "Was that what that was?"
Guys, show of hands in the chat, who remembers the Claire Lynch saga? My God, the Claire Lynch days. Who remembers those, guys? Oh boy, Claire Lynch was a very interesting period of Impact Wrestling at the time. I know. Hakeem's right. He's got an article ready for this one. That's the Claire Lynch BS. You're right. Everybody. Yeah. If we were around, you remember it. My God. I heard that girl was an actress at Universal. This is what I found out, that she was an actress at Universal, and they got her from the studio because they were taping at Universal Studios. I thought she was an actress there, and it was so panned negatively that she like gave up acting or something. Like, she shut her portfolio down. I heard it was like terrible what happened, but God, what a terrible storyline that was. It just, man, to this day. And you guys know me. I am Mr. Impact Wrestling. I love this company, but I'll call it out on that one. I just, it's one of those storylines, Jay, where it was cringy because she was such an odd actress at the same time. Kazarian and Daniels were doing the best they could. It was so cringy.
Oh, they were good, dude. They were always gold because they worked so much. Dude, they're still gold. They're still gold, even though they're in a company, but they're still doing, their little acts during, being the elite or whatever. Dude, they still got it. It's hilarious. They're
wonderful. They are wonderful, wonderful. If anybody in the chat has ever met Kazarian and Daniels, are great. They're absolutely great dudes. Bad Influence, man. We can't forget Bad Influence. That they were Impact Wrestling legends, no doubt. But no, that storyline was tough, and this was around that time. So AJ was. I gotta give it to AJ though. Jay, he was wrestling with that sense of something on his mind, which I like those little details to it. You could see something was distracting him at all times during this period. So that was one of the things that I appreciate about AJ Styles. He's a very good detail guy. Always has been, especially and he just grew. I mean, obviously he's now a 20-year veteran, but he's at the time he wasn't that, but he was still pretty veteran at that point. And he's just a great detail guy. So I love that about him. And you could see it in this match.
He was at the top of his game, and I think this is right around the time that Kurt Angle started having a bunch of health issues, and he started getting in a little bit of trouble. Won't get into that. So there's a lot of little things.
This is around the period that Kurt looked like emaciated a little bit. You notice that he looked thinner, like he was just weak. Like the pills during the pill era with him.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff, and I followed his comeback very closely. I've been following his closely as far as comebacks or anything troublesome with someone in the world of wrestling. I've probably followed his the closest in the last, I'd say, decade. And man, I tell you, when they fall, everybody shits on them. But when they come back and they clean up and they start that road to redemption, pardon the pun, man, there's nothing better. Really, there is nothing better than
Kurt was good.
Yeah,
Kurt was good. Look at this. Terrence
got back with his family, found God, everything.
Kurt's was an interesting story around that time. He went through a rough period, but it's still weird to me that his ex-wife married Jeff Jarrett, and his kids live with Jeff Jarrett, and Jeff Jarrett's widowed. Like Jeff Jarrett was widowed. His daughters, they all live in Tennessee. Kurt's married with like 4 more kids. And they're all like pals. Like all of them are buds. Like they all like hang out as 2 families. I'm like, what in the world?
Yeah, right.
I'm like, how does that happen? But good for them. But yeah, check that. It's a great match. AJ and Kurt, you can't go wrong. It's a good flashback to have. And then the recap match, Jay. I did see that Rohit promo. We'll talk about that at the end of the show for sure. Did see the Rohit promo that was released on social. It was fantastic. My boy, man, the guy can go. If you get side note, Kyle and Rohit did Kung Fu Theater on our Twitch channel, which is now under Total Nonstop Impact, not TNI show anymore.
Yeah.
Type in Total Nonstop Impact. Updated it finally. Rohit and Kyle did Kung Fu Theater. They watched along a Kung Fu movie, commentated, and there was a full 30-minute interview before the show. So definitely check that out, guys. It's streaming. It's on demand on the Twitch channel. What do we got here? Hogan. We're not getting into Hogan and Bischoff here, guys.
My lovely nephew Paul asks, why did TNA do this storyline? Critical Sting responded with, ask Hogan and Bischoff.
Good one, Critical Sting. Good stuff. And then the recap match, Jay. What do we have for recap this week?
The recap was crap. I didn't write it down.
It was I think it was Elgin and I'm sorry. It was Trey versus Elgin.
Trey versus Elgin.
Yeah,
Yes,
versus Elgin.
That's exactly what it was.
For that tournament final. This was Trey's advance. Like I said, we reviewed that show anyway. It's kind of like we're not going to talk about it. We already reviewed it when it happened. Yeah. It's on the channel, guys. Check it out. We reviewed that. We reviewed the Impact Plus.
Yeah, that was just 2 weeks ago. That's pretty recent. So yeah.
Yeah, just a little recap. You missed the highlight. It was the tournament final. So that was that, and that was Impact Plus this week. Nothing new. No Sammy and Friends. Nothing else, guys. I got up here on my I got a countertop over at my desk. I put on Bash of the Brewery too, just so it's floating up there. Just something Impact Plus content. Times like these, I gotta say though, Jay, aside from the TNA shows we're watching for the throwback, it's a good time to catch some of these specials if you're, since they're not putting anything new out. Definitely check out some of those Twitch specials. You guys haven't seen them, like Bash the Brewery and all those like extra shows that they did, those specials they did for Impact Plus and whatnot. So it's a good time to check those out, guys.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. The Twitch specials are really underrated because sometimes they pop some local talent quietly at the start of the show. They get matches. Sometimes they get some really good rematches when you're like, it's just a rematch. Yeah, but watch it, because sometimes they twist it up and change it up and they, have a completely different kind of match from what they had a few weeks ago, depending on who it is. There's always something special in them.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little topics, guys. Let's talk a little topics, and then Hakeem's got a story.
Let's talk some topics.
Yeah, Hakeem's got a story about the Old Dirty Bastard. We'll talk, and definitely Hakeem, check out the Kung Fu Theater. Recommend that one for their next one. Let's start off. There was one. Let's start off right here. The Virtual Basement. Impact Wrestling got pulled from the Virtual Basement video game that was coming out. There was a mixed reaction to this. I don't think people took it as hard, Jay. And you give me your opinion. I don't think I took it as hard because nobody really knows what the hell it is. I haven't seen any screen caps. I haven't seen anything about this game other than a bunch of wrestlers holding up contract. And I'm like, well, what is it? What is it?
I saw a video recently. This is just a little like just big picture kind of scenario. There's actually almost 10 professional wrestling video games being developed at this point. I just found a video that detailed greatly in detail, and some are just a little more vague as in a title and who's doing it. There's a lot of video games in the world of wrestling getting made right now. This is one of them. This has the potential to be really good, especially if you follow the indies closely. It's kind of a bummer in the sense of, someone from Impact Wrestling isn't going to be in it anymore. I did not look at details as far as how many got pulled. If you know the roster, it could be anything from like half of them to a third of them to 3/4 of the roster. I'm not sure.
It wasn't everybody. Sure. Yeah, it was like, I know Fala, Kylie, and like maybe a couple more. Ethan maybe signed on for. I don't know what. Here's my thing though. They didn't not even release what platforms it's for, and just for background for everyone to know, it's not an Impact game. It's a thing called Virtual Basement, and they're saying it's a pro wrestling game, and they've been signing a bunch of indie talent, and then which ended up also some Impact talent independently, and they're like, and they've taken pictures saying, I'm signed to be in this video game, but it's like we haven't seen anything about the game. There's no screen grabs, there's no platform release, there's no press release. I don't even know what the hell it is. I have no idea what this is. And I don't know. Some people were pissed, like, it's a bad move for Impact. Like, bad is it really? What is it actually?
No, you know what? It's a sign that Impact Wrestling isn't just gonna be like, because there's so many people that you quietly hear throughout whether it be our discussions on the internet or like a review, something will come up about something about the old Impact game that came out. When the hell did that come out? 10 years ago? 10 plus years ago?
I think about 10 years ago, maybe 2013. Shoot, anybody remember when that game came out?
There are so many.
I have it.
There are so many people that keep saying, we wish Impact had action figures. We wish Impact had this. We wish Impact had the video game or a video game, And this is just another way of, look, it's a sign that Impact Wrestling is growing to the point where it's not like, no, you're not going to take a lot of our talent who's signed. I don't care what kind of contract or how big the contract is. It doesn't matter. It's a signed talent. They're part of our company. And it's a sign of solidarity from Impact Wrestling and the people above Impact Wrestling that own Impact Wrestling that say, hey, that's our guys. You want to make something with us, great, but talk to us about it before you use all our contracted people.
Absolutely. And exactly. It's like, wait, you're going to put our guys in a game that's not ours, and it's like our branded guys. I mean, Impact guys, if you notice, they're tightening up the ship a lot. There's a lot going on for Impact Wrestling. They're locking guys up for deals a little more. They paid everybody through pandemic. They're paying them. They paid them through those canceled shows. Impact is tightening up the ship. They got licensing coming up. There's some stuff in the works. There's a 5-year plan for the company right now, which I'm sure includes things like video games and toys and more merchandising. Pro Wrestling Tees partnership started. Things like little things are happening. The company's doing it at their own pace. It's not out of the question that they'll do their own game in a couple of years. But then you got your guys tied up in other games. It's like, it's a bad look. I think it's a bad look. It's like you got your contracted guys in an indie game. It's like you're trying to sell a perception of signed talent, of TV talent, and you got your guys in an indie game. It does not look perceptually. Just think of it this way. Would Vince McMahon let any of his guys in an independent game? Jay, you know what I mean? Like, would Vince let any of his guys in an independent game?
Oh, as much as people joke about the roster of the WWE being independent contractors, no, there's no way in hell.
No way in hell. Like, Vince wouldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Vince would not do it. So why should Impact? They're contracted company too. You don't want to. You want to sell a good perception, and I like that they're doing that. I don't mind it. Again, if I saw some screen grabs of the game, I saw something that really made the game look like, wow, this is cool. It's like, I'd be like, okay, maybe. But so far, you haven't shown me anything. So what am I bummed out about? Like I said, it was a mixed bag. Not too much of a bad reaction to it or anything. Some people who don't watch, they're like, oh, it's terrible. Like, whatever, okay. But we'll see what happens, guys. We'll see what happens. What other news we got? What else happened, Jay? We can talk about the big one. I know there was a big one everyone wants to talk about.
Let's just talk about it.
Let's talk about that. Gary, I want to talk about this Booker T thing, too. I heard he did. I don't know what he said. We'll talk about that, too. Somebody make sure we get to that. And then the world title. We'll touch on the world title issue, too. And if anybody else has anything, please just throw it in the chat. Sonny taking shots at our knockouts.
Oh, I thought you were going to mention the other big elephant in the room.
Oh, what's that?
Promo that EC3 came out with 24 hours ago.
We'll get to that. Remind me about that one.
Because that's a better topic. Sonny is just kind of a flushing topic in my opinion.
And we should get a flushing sound effect in here somewhere. But I'll just mention. I don't want to spend too much time on it. But Sonny taking a shot at Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace handling it with amazing grace, I should say. What a lousy trash bag thing to do. The way she said it was unbelievable. And then just taking racist shots and all sorts of crap. She was off her chain, man.
Dude, she's been one of those gals. And like I just said this with Kurt, you see people get in trouble. You hope they make a comeback. You hope they turn the page and they right themselves. And no, Sonny is one of those, well, I'll do it in quotes if you're listening to the audio, Hall of Famers, because, I mean, she's, thumbs down. Thank you, Critical Sting. She's one of those people that you hope they right themselves, start on a new path in life, get clean, similar to how Chyna did right before she passed. She connected with her fans. She did meet and greets. And then, unfortunately, she took a bad turn right at the very end. But no, Sunny gets out of jail. What's the first thing she does? She makes an OnlyFans page, and that's something that we joke about on here, especially Kyle. He's
gonna make one.
Our neighborhood lovable, huggable scumbag. The OnlyFans it's supposed to be more of a sophisticated way of sharing adult content, and I mean, you could use it for other things, I suppose, but that's usually what it's known for, as far as I know. What do I know? I'm just an old fart, right? But she's sitting there bragging, "Oh yeah, I make $100K a month on my OnlyFans page." It's like, okay, is that really something to brag about? Is that really something that you want to put out there and be like, "Oh yeah, all these people come to me to watch me do God knows what"? I'm not even going to mention it on here. I mean, we have some class, right, Trent?
Did she a little bit? Did she? Wait a minute. Did she say $100,000 a month? Please tell me she's joking. There's no way. By the way, I can't imagine $100,000 a month. Anyway, I don't want to spend too much time on it with Sunny. I mean, she took a shot at Jordan real bad. Jordan handled it classy. She knows how to handle it. Yeah. She handled it perfectly. I appreciate the way Jordan handled it. And then think about the Impact roster, guys. You jump on, you fight one of them, you fight all of them, right, Jaybone? Did you see what I'm talking about?
Dude, you get the entire Impact tribe up your ass whenever you do this.
You cannot fight with one person. You can't take shots at one Impact roster person. One of the biggest things I love about this company is the locker room, how together it is, and also the fans, man. You cannot take a shot at Impact and expect to get out of it breathing. She locked her account after that. She got flooded by Impact fans who were like, "Oh, really? Bitch." They just jumped in there and took her out.
I mean, took her out. Sunny had tweets taken down from Twitter because they were reported so much. The whole racist thing. She's gonna lose her Twitter. Yeah, and then it's because she's gonna lose her Twitter. She's just gonna keep losing her social medias because she's just talking trash. And she's become trash, and it's sad. It's really sad. It's one thing to do something quietly because it's not something to brag about what she's doing. I'm sorry, it's not. I'd be like, "Oh yeah, guess how many chicks I showed my dick to last week." No, that's not something you brag about. No, it's just it's horrible. Yeah, and Trent's like, "You're a married man, Jaybone. What the hell?"
My God. My God. I know she's been I know Mrs. Jaybone's been out of town for a couple of weeks, but Jesus Christ, Jaybone. All right, so listen, the hell with that. They handled it good. You guys took her down. That was great. Awesome. Good work by the Impact fans. I love it. You can't get away with it. I'm sorry. It just doesn't work that way. So what else? EC3. We'll talk about that one. Let's talk about EC3 news, huh?
He came out with a lovely little promo.
What does it mean? It either means he is or he isn't. I don't know. I don't know what it means, but I love that. I don't know what it means.
the unfortunate thing in the promo, I should say, in the verbiage surrounding the promo, is two little significant words that he put in there.
Go ahead.
Click and bait.
Now talk about it. Discuss. Give me your thoughts.
So he won't. I won't play it on here because people have watched it ad nauseum already. Probably 500 times. I know I watched it a few times. So basically, he's claiming himself to be the hooded figure, and he's all amped up, and he's watching the video that came out, the Slammiversary promo, where they show EC3, they show the flag, they show Carl Anderson, Gallows, all those guys. And it's so then, you see EC3 from behind his head with the video playing behind his head, and he's staring at the wall, watching it. And then he takes the glass that you have the mug, don't you?
I have the mug.
The EC3 for President 2015?
For champ.
Or for champ, mug. Excuse me, sorry.
I do have the
Thank
mug.
you.
I do have the mug. I drink coffee out of it in the mornings. I feel like a champ. I feel like a 1%er when I'm working from home, sipping my coffee out of that mug. But interesting. That video alone that Impact put out last Tuesday got insane buzz. Like it blew up. Like I'm seriously like one of the most viral things they've done this year.
Yeah.
In a while. And all the guys they tagged even responded to it in a way. I think like, well, obviously Spud got re-signed. You know, that was obviously a work. But I think Rusev said something. Machine Gun said something about it. Luke Gallows did. Everybody kind of chimed in a little bit about this.
Mr. and Mrs. Bennett, yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Bennett put something. I mean, there was a little. I like it. I love like stirring the little, you know, just getting everybody thinking, Jaybone. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody thinking about stuff. So I like that. And what do you guys think about it? Give me your thoughts, guys, in the chat. Is he or is he not? I love that they left it. He left it mysterious and shit. He might or might not.
I love it that he got people going. I wish he didn't put clickbait in it because, well, there's still plenty of fans that are convinced that the hooded figure is EY because of the tattoos he has, apparently. Now, I have not seen footage. I have not seen like a close-up of his hand. I know he's got a lot of tattoos and he's got some sleeves.
EY does, right? Yeah, Eric Young. EC3 doesn't have any tattoos.
And I didn't think he does.
No, Eric Young does. That the thumb that they showed on Impact, the hand holding the whiskey.
Yeah,
that's Eric Young. Like but they gave little hints of everything. They have the tattoo on the hand to throw you off that it's Eric Young. The hoodie was definitely EC3. The whiskey EC3 addressed in his video, but they did all the other little clues. Who knows, man? Who knows? What did Rusev say about it? Critical thing. Tell me what Rusev said. I heard he did, but
I don't know if he said anything. He's been showing a lot of videos on Twitch and YouTube. He talks while he plays video games, and I think those parts get taken out of context and shared around like, oh, hey, he talked about this. You know, I saw a clip the other day that he was showing pictures of his dogs. And I was like, oh, he's got adorable dogs. Okay. So, but yeah, I mean, it's getting the fans talking. It's getting fans excited.
Yeah.
Whether he is or not, I don't think he is. But I mean, would I like to see him come back? Yeah, me personally, yeah. You know, and everyone's got their own opinion, and that's fine. You can sit there and say, no, he shouldn't come back because he did this. No, he shouldn't come back because he did that. Okay. How many times has this person or that person done this thing or that thing to former said company, and they went back and guess what? You popped for it. You could enter any name in any company from any situation, and there's always some kind of storybook ending. So could it happen? Absolutely. Do I think it is? No, but I think there's some other names that are getting floated around quietly, like one of the first names that I threw out there that I still think is a huge get. Someone like Chris Hero. You know, I think there's some other names. I think Impact Wrestling is just a genius at this, if you really think about it. They'll throw a bunch of faces up there, and casual fan will look at this and be like, oh my God, all those people are coming back to Impact Wrestling. Okay, half of those people have not even been in Impact Wrestling. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, Rusev, the Bullet Club guys, you know, or Good Brothers as they're called now.
Yeah.
But I just think there's other big names out there that certainly could get a lot of people talking, that people would get excited about. There's just no reason why it couldn't be any number of different names. And it's exciting to talk about it and to guess and to speculate. I'm not getting too grounded on any one particular name, but it's great to weigh out the speculation.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people talking in the chat. Matt Cardona, they're talking Aiden English. Eric Rowan was mentioned. Guys are mentioning in the chat. Some people are not happy if it is EC3. A couple of guys aren't too happy about it. Maybe the way he left, whatever it may be, guys, we're going to find out one way or another. I think it's interesting, and it gets people talking about the company either way, which I like. So I'm excited about it, whatever happens, to be honest. debuts are always fun. And I just feel like EC3, that's his home, man. Impact Wrestling's his home. That's just how it was. If you guys were around and watching during that time, during the EC3 rise, it was a special time. I was down in the Impact Zone with Bill. We were down there for shows. I was down, and it was something special, man. He was definitely our guy, and it sucks that he left in the middle of that during the transitional period of the company. So we'll see what happens. Let's talk another topic here, guys. I want to bring this up. Tessa, we got word of the world title being addressed on Tuesday. What do you guys think is going to happen? Is she getting stripped? She's not at the tapings. We know that. And we are on the road to Slammiversary. What happens to Tessa Blanchard? Personal opinion, Jay, I think she has to show up at Slammiversary. I think things. Now, let me ask you this: where I live, guys, I've seen it. I heard today everything opened up. They removed the curfew. People were at bars. I know, Jay, where you're at, it's like nothing ever happened. No pandemic ever happened.
Oh yeah, I mean, with the protesting and thousands of people, at one place. As far as businesses, some places are opening up again and reclosing because people are getting sick. There's all sorts of different scenarios. It's crazy.
So we'll see. Maybe here's my thought, that by Slammiversary time, you're talking mid-July, things are going to change. Things are changing weekly, the way I'm seeing it happen. I think by mid-July, she'll be able to get out of Mexico and show up to Slammiversary and defend the title. I personally think she'll be at Slammiversary. I just think that right now, it's perfect time to just build Moose. Moose is there. He's got the TNA belt. You can keep pushing that angle. And then here the real champion comes in. Maybe unify him or something at that point. Maybe come up with something. But I think, Ace is in line for a title shot. Moose is walking around with another title. You got 2-3 possible contenderships going. Elgin's gunning for his thing. My prediction, I told Jay this. I was telling you this. I think I was telling you or somebody else, Jay. I think Elgin, it's going to be Elgin and Moose at Bound for Glory this year. I think Moose takes the belt my prediction is Moose takes the belt from Tessa in a unification match. That's my prediction. And I think it's Moose and Elgin at Slammiversary, at Bound for Glory this year. So you got a lot going on. There's so much happening. Right now.
What about Ace?
Yeah, it gets a title. I don't think they're going to put the title on Ace. I don't think they're going to put the title on Ace. I don't think it's going to happen. I think he'll get a great push out of this. I think he's very young. This is a great level up for Ace.
Yeah, because he's definitely stepping away from the X division.
Oh, he's top tier now. He's like the guy's moved up to the main events now. That's it. He is out of the X division for sure. This is a great level up for him. I don't think he's going to get the belt. You got too many other guys ready to in line. You got the Elgin storyline that's paralleling everything. But I think Moose and Tessa unification. Moose wins it. Watch out, Moose 2 belts. Because that's something Moose would do. 2 belt it, and then you get Elgin at Bound for Glory this year. And I think that could be it, guys. That's my thought. So we'll see what happens. It's just a complete prediction on my part. So who knows? But we'll see, guys. Polar Family, where are you at? Where you're opening up isn't an issue. I think we should know where these are. Maybe they'll run shows in some of these towns that aren't an issue.
There's been a few states that never really closed much of anything down, like Idaho in the middle of the country and stuff like that. So
take Impact to Idaho, baby. Do a show out in Boise. Slammiversary comes to Boise, Idaho. Let's do
Boise, baby.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens, guys. I'm curious. Either way, the shows have been great. And I got to say, I brought this up on the main show on Tuesday, which happened on a very rough day. We had the riots going on. It was a very, very tough day in the country. And Kyle and Alicia sat it out. Jay and I were here, and we addressed it at the top of the show. Like, I respected the hell out of Impact for putting the statement up at the beginning of the show, and they blacked out social media that day. And for a show that relies on their social media to trend and get their numbers for the week, for them to black out on the night their show was airing, I think it's a huge, huge move of respect. I think that was a very, very big move on their part. They didn't have. I mean, they were not obligated to. Yeah, that's the night your show airs. You need those numbers.
Yeah.
But they took the hit on Blackout Tuesday and really respected it. And I got to give it to them. I'm not going to count. They did not trend, obviously, because there wasn't a lot of tweeting going on. But if they start trending again, they keep the streak alive. I'm not even going to count last week. I'm going to keep the streak in. They've been trending for 2 months straight in the top 10 if they hit it again this Tuesday. So we'll see what happens. We'll see where that goes. I'm very proud of Impact for that. That made me really happy to be a fan. We were it was a tough show on Tuesday, Jay. That was a heavy show, huh?
It was. There's just so much emotion surrounding what we're witnessing, what's going on around us, and we touched on it briefly. We don't want to. We're trying to take you away from not to disrespect any of the people standing up for what kind of things they're standing up for. It's not that, folks. It's not that. It's just that. Look, you can't watch Fox News and CNN and MSNBC and NBC. You can't watch it 24/7 because you'll end up end up in a straitjacket somewhere down the road in the bushes. Yeah. That ain't pretty, So look, we kindly respect what people are fighting for. We get it. We grew up around it. We weren't born yesterday. We understand what's going on. We love and respect everyone and their views. It doesn't, and our silent, I'm using quotes here for audio's sake, our silence on it doesn't mean disrespect, folks. A lot of people take that, but we're not going to sit here and talk about it for hours.
Yeah.
Look,
we were the escape.
We're talking about our stuff, and we love you guys, and we know everyone's getting affected by this, and we hear you. We hear you.
Yeah. So we're happy. You guys really turned out on Tuesday. We're really thankful everybody for being there on Tuesday night because there was a big crowd in here on Tuesday. So
we were surprised, honestly.
Yeah, we didn't expect all you guys to hang out with us. I think everybody wanted to get away from stuff. So luckily things have calmed down quite a bit. We'll have a nice little outing this Tuesday, guys. We'll have fun. The weekly show is a good show planned for Tuesday. Any other topics you want to talk about? We try to keep this thing to an hour at the most. So anything we want to talk? We covered all the news, Xplosion. Anybody else want to mention anything before we'll let you guys go on this Sunday evening? Get your week started tomorrow. Oh, Booker T. Booker T's comments on oh man, let me address this in a second. About rage quit at TNA Wrestling. Booker T. What did Booker T say this week? What did Booker T say? I heard he put over Russo, and that made Jarrett. I know Jarrett was very uncomfortable seeing that because Jarrett and Russo are best friends, and he didn't know how to react to that because Jarrett's trying to keep his job, but. I love that Booker T has no filter. He's not going to be stopped by anybody. Booker's going to let you know what he's thinking. And he put over Vince Russo on a WWE broadcast, which I thought was gutsy and awesome. Yeah. But what did he say about Impact Wrestling? Did he put over what they're doing now? What's going on? I'd like to know.
I think it was the fact that they've been hiring a lot of people during this time period. I think that's what it was.
Which is awesome.
They've
added to the roster.
All the new faces coming, and I think that's what it was. I could be wrong, but that's because I watched him talking about Impact Wrestling lately, and sometimes he's a little touch and go with stuff outside of WWE. I mean, he's still, I think, technically under some kind of contract with them.
Legends deal, I think. Yeah.
He still shows up for pre-shows and stuff like that here and there. But
Gordon Hakimi said, "Looks like Impact can be a major promotion once again." That's awesome. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, that's what he said. Yeah, he said, "Looks like they're getting back in the game." And of course, some of us would get angry at that for a second, be like, "What do you mean? They've always been in the game." But no, it's look, there's different levels of, if you look at a company and distribution and views, there's a lot of different things you could compare different companies in different ways. Let's not kid ourselves.
Absolutely.
Worldwide, I think Impact Wrestling is absolutely a worthwhile topic to talk about. I mean, and the reason I'll keep bringing this up is, every once in a while we'll talk about how much our podcast is getting viewed in places like Africa, and it's
the UK, because
Impact Wrestling is getting seen by millions worldwide. In a place like Africa, across the continent, it's getting viewed like between 4 to 5 million views, where other brands are only getting viewed like 500,000 views. It's ridiculous, So we know who's watching us, and we know how much Impact is growing in other places compared to others. So that right there, it's like, yeah, of course they're in the game,
Speaking of international, we just our podcast, I'll announce on the main show too. Our show just signed on with Geo7. We got in. We're in Jaybone. Geo7 in India.
I saw you talking to Kyle about it. I was busy doing some other stuff. Please tell me what that is.
So Geo7, everybody knows about that. I didn't never heard about it. Kyle told me about it. It's a huge music. It's like platform and podcasting platform for India, and they got billion subscribers or something. They got some huge listener base or something. I mean, it's crazy what they got.
Billion people can't be wrong, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of people in India, obviously. So, Kyle's like, look into this. They're a podcasting platform for India. Obviously, wrestling is huge in India. A lot of, if you guys notice, even on Twitter, quite a few Impact Wrestling fans in India from Sony 6 and everything. So, we talked to them and we signed down with them. So we're in with Geo7. Everybody knows about it. If anybody has any insight to it, like, give us some background. I don't know too much about it other than it's just a really big platform. And I saw that my friends Marty and Sarah, their podcast are on there. Marty and Sarah Love Wrestling. They were on there as well.
Yeah, I've heard of them. Yeah.
So when I saw Marty and Sarah on there, I didn't contact them, and I'm like, all right, if Marty and Sarah on here, I feel a little better because I know them personally, and I'm like, okay, they're friends, and I can trust if they're on here is a legit thing. But if anybody knows about it, definitely let us know. But we're on there. If any fans in India are listening, we're going to be on Geo7 starting, I think, with this show. This show should publish out.
Now, is that a format similar to like something like Spotify? Is that like you could?
Yeah, it's like a Spotify or Apple Music type of thing. Yeah.
Okay. Just so I can kind of understand.
Just like Spotify.
Okay. All right.
So
so it's like the Indian version of
Spotify. Yeah.
Interesting.
So let's see here. Hakeem's asking, all right, was there ever a moment that made you want to rage quit Impact? Man, it's hard. Not really. I wouldn't say so. I love the company. Because there's always something. Even if something sucked, like Claire Lynch storyline sucked, there was always something else going on that was good. It was enough to keep me at all times. I never really. I'll tell you what. The closest I got was when I heard that they were branding the company the Global Force Wrestling. I'm like, wait a minute. Please tell me that's not true. Please tell me that's not happening. And I didn't believe it. And then I got to the Impact Zone that taping. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? So if anything got me even remotely close to like being upset, it was that. I wasn't going to quit on them though, no doubt. I wasn't going to quit on them for sure. So definitely can never quit on the company. I'm a day one guy, guys. I was there from minute one. So I cannot leave. What about you, Jay? I don't know if you have anything. You haven't been watching as long as I have. Has there been anything?
I've been watching since their FS1 days, the Fox Sports, whatever. But there's times that I've come and gone. I haven't always talked about them on my podcast, but I've always appreciated what they've try to do in the world of wrestling. There's been times when I've looked at their show and just been like, dude,
like what happened here?
What are you doing? Like, I think one time when I just kind of like shook my head and went away from it for a little bit was like when Kurt Angle was dressed up like a pilgrim and it was like Thanksgiving or something. And I was just like,
those were fun. Those are fun times.
Well, yeah, it's sometimes, and then there was other stuff, and I think I went away from it for a little bit. A few years ago, came and went, and then all of a sudden, the Jeff Hardy Matt Hardy feud started going viral.
Yeah, that was it.
Enter Broken Matt Hardy.
That was it, man.
And those promos started getting so much attention. And I did too. One of the things that really brought me back to it in a weird sort of way was everybody started doing these reactions to one of those first viral promos. Like, I knew you'd come. So I'm sitting here.
I knew you'd come.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I'm sitting here watching this, and I'm just like, it was. And to me, at first, it was so bizarre. I'm like,
So
dude,
bizarre.
I just saw Matt Hardy in West Dallas, Wisconsin, and he looked nothing. What in the? To quote The Rock, what in the blue hell are you doing? You know, it's like.
I got something to share I know I've shared this before on the show, but I'll share it here just since we're talking about it.
Hey, Matt.
Wait.
Brother Trent, I knew you'd come.
I love that one.
It's classic. It's a classic moment in my life. Just hanging out with him at AAW. I picked him up at the airport to bring him to the show, and we had a blast. He's the greatest dude. He's the greatest dude. But yeah. Anything else, guys, you want to talk about? It's about almost 11 p.m. Central here. People gotta work. Elijah Washington, I did not hear about Alex Riley going to Impact. No idea. Paul Nelson, Jaybone, wants to hear your early work on the show. Go back. It's all it's on the Impact Lounge still. Jaybone's early stuff. We're gonna bring it back here. Right?
Come to think of it, I think this week is actually 1 year.
1 year for you?
1 year for being with TNI. I'd have to go back and see exactly, but I'm pretty sure it was like somewhere in June.
Okay, let's take a look. Let's try to find that out. Who's the biggest missed opportunity of the GFW merger? Man, good question. I don't know. Who do you think?
I'm gonna say. Oh man, I'm trying to think of all the faces that came in there. Who was Kurt Hawkins? What is Kurt Hawkins' other wrestling name?
He was damn it.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was in there.
I'd say he's definitely one of them.
I'm trying to think who else was part of it, to be honest. It's like who was actually part of that. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure. I don't really have any thoughts on that.
PJ Black was in there for
PJ Black. I'll say that. That's a good one.
Yeah,
PJ Black.
He's a great veteran.
Akeem says Garza Jr., Chris Masters, Brian Myers. You're thinking of Jaybone.
Brian Myers. Thank you.
Yeah.
Garza Jr. I
like Garza Jr. a lot, actually.
I like him, and I loved his. Yeah, I love the pants. Don't get me wrong. I love the pants thing. But when they had him in and week out, and he was always banged up, he always was taped up, and you could see how his in-ring work was affected by whatever injury he had going on in his shoulder. And it bothered me that he was always out there. It's like, why do they keep putting him out there if he's banged up? Because he's not 100% clearly, and I'm not going to say he stunk up the matches, but he didn't bring, and that was a whole new, like, turning the page time in the X division. It really was. Yeah. That was around the same time as the X Cup, and they were bringing in a lot of new faces like Dez, Sammy Guevara. I still wish they signed him at the time, because that would have been unbelievable. Look at what he's doing now. The guy's a rock star in AEW,
Sammy Guevara, he definitely is. That kid could have been something. ACH, somebody mentioned in the chat too. J-Rock mentioned ACH.
AC. And controversy aside, the guy's a tremendous talent.
He's fantastic. ACH is great. I've worked with ACH a lot in AEW. He's our guy at AEW, and he is one. I've had my mixed opinions about him at times with things, because he's definitely he's an interesting personality for sure. And he could have his moments for sure. But I gotta say, after the whole thing happened, and he made his return to AEW. That's where he came back home after everything went down. Tremendous pop. He was back home. I worked with him up until the shutdown. We were doing a great story with him, and we had him fight TJP at the last show before we locked down. And I produced him on some segments, and he was great, man. There's a new invigorated HCH, and I would love to see him on TV for a company like Impact Wrestling. That's a company. And
he's come out and apologized for everything controversial because he went through a bad phase where he was just nonstop running his mouth. And I understand why he was. Well, I shouldn't say I understand because that's just like, well, you're middle-aged and bald and white. What the hell are you talking about? Yeah, okay. I don't understand that aspect of it. But, it's the guy was going through stuff. He was troubled at the time. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that we don't know what was running through his mind at the time,
Yeah.
But he's apologized for it. So it's like, all right.
I could tell you firsthand that he's a completely different guy. Now, the way I worked with him when we were shutting down, he's got a new focus. He is completely refocused, man. This guy is on a new trajectory, and I think once we get back up and running, he's going to be a major player. And I hope listen, Impact's a great place for him. I think this is the environment he should be in. There's no bullshit, in this kind of locker. There's no racism. There's no bigotry in this locker room. That's the thing.
It's family. It's
a family, and it's multi-ethnic locker room, and they pride themselves. They pride on that, and I think this is the locker room he should go to. I think it's perfect for him. And you want to talk a player in the X division? Shit, throw ACH in there and just let it write itself at that point. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So we'll see, guys. People were mentioning Tejano, Brian Myers. I don't know about Brian Myers. I don't know if he'd really fit the narrative right now in Impact. I did not see the Chris Van Vliet with Jordan Grace. I'd like to see it though. I'd like to see it. So
dude, you've got to see it.
Is it good?
It's very good.
Very nice. Go check. I saw the Sammy one he did with Sammy. I thought that was great too. I never saw the Jordan Grace one. Van Vliet does some good interviews. They're long form, like hour-long interviews, aren't they?
Dude, he is such a nice guy. When I ran into him at All Glory at Bound for Glory weekend,
he was there.
I got a picture with him. He walked right past me. And he was just kind of looking around, checking everything out. And he was just such a fan. He wasn't walking around like, I'm motherfucking Chris Van Vliet. No.
I didn't know he was there even.
I mean, the guy's well put together. Okay. He's a sexy bitch. All right.
He's jacked.
He looks great on his videos. All right. And he's very professional. What he's doing, he does it damn good. Okay. He makes it look easy. And when I saw him, I'm not going to lie, I was a little intimidated because he's one of the few that I really look up to as far as watching people on YouTube and carrying themselves. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I put my hand on his shoulder. I was like, hey, Chris Van Vliet. He's like, hi, how you doing? And I introduced myself. We talked for like 5-10 minutes, and then some other dude jumped in and stole the conversation away from me. But I got a picture with him, and the time that I talked to him, genuinely a great guy. And because I assumed he was signed with AEW.
I don't think he signed, right? He just kind of like
he wasn't. He's like they brought me in for the first taping, and then they didn't call me back. I'm like, well, dude, they should. Okay, that's just my opinion. Because if any big brand's gonna pick him up, I assume they were going to, or a brand like, I mean, I think the original goal was I thought WWE was gonna sign him. I don't think they've even sniffed him, but whatever.
Did he train as a wrestler? Did he do anything like that? He wrestled at All In, right? Isn't that was him?
I don't think he wrestled at All In.
Who was the guy who wrestled? I thought it was Van Vliet. Maybe I don't know. I don't really follow their stuff, so I have no idea. I thought
he has trained. So he has done, and he's done a little indie work, I think. And I can't remember what there was something. It was something that Ethan Page was tied to that he also worked with some other indie. It wasn't Alpha One, I don't think. It was something else.
Gotcha.
But just a genuinely nice guy. He wasn't there like all big headed, like, yeah, I'm Chris Van Vliet and I get all this. He just told me that he's like, yeah, I got some interviews this weekend, and I was like, oh, cool, and Yeah, go to his YouTube channel, please. Just check him out. He's a tremendous guy.
This is the guy I was thinking of who wrestled there. That's why it wasn't Van Vliet. Stephen Amell.
Stephen Amell. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't follow their stuff. I have no idea who's what. But interesting. I wouldn't mind him being. Oh yeah, what's he gonna do though? Like, where do you put a guy like that? I'd say make him the official interviewer, but it's like, hey, we're trying to get the official podcast of Impact Wrestling stamp on our stuff, guys. Let's answer one more, and then we'll let everybody go for today. How's that? I think Conan sent so many wrestlers from MLW and AAA from AAA, not have them come to Impact. I think it's a matter of where they can be used. Remember, Conan's kind of like an agent. He always has been an agent in a sense.
Yeah.
So it's who can use what. He'll facilitate as needed. MLW needed it. They were focusing more on lucha. When they came to Chicago, they went to the Latino neighborhood here. They made it a very lucha heavy show. That's what was on the posters.
Oh yeah,
very very lucha heavy, right?
Yeah,
so that's what they were going for. So when you need that, that's where it comes into play. If Impact needs it, I'm sure he'll do it. Let's see. I don't know. So let's see where that goes. I think it's a matter of where they're needed. If they can fit, I'm sure Conan will make it happen. I'm sure Conan will, if you're like, hey, we need a luchador, he'll figure it out. And can we get Vikingo, please? Before we sign anybody else from down there, can we give Vikingo a work visa and get that kid in the United States, please?
Oh, no kidding.
Holy
Please.
shit, can we get Vikingo, please? I'd love to see that kid up here. But
Dude, the amount of times he's been featured on Impact Wrestling and has just stolen the show.
That kid is something else. Man. All right, let's see. Let's let Hakeem plug his. Let's see. Hakeem plug his site. He's got to have a bunch of articles up there. Go to Hakeem's Twitter, guys. He's got a bunch of lists, top 10 lists. If you want to learn about Impact Wrestling in kind of like a condensed version, like a Cliff Notes style list format, friend of the show, brother of the show, Hakeem Fullerton's got a ton of content you guys can check out and get yourself caught up with stuff that you might not get by just watching or just trying to catch up as quickly. So definitely check his stuff out. Hakeem, go ahead and please plug your stuff, man. We'll definitely want people to go read your stuff. Terrence Sullivan, Virtuosa, and Jordan Grace. That could be interesting. I don't want to get too quick of a push. Can we not push everybody to the title immediately? Can we have them start off somewhere else? Jay, I don't know about you, but I don't like everybody coming in and just going right for the belt. It's like, wait a minute, wait your turn, build it up a little bit. Let's do it properly.
I know what you're saying, but if you saw the preview, she's in there. Yeah.
Okay, I get. Okay, here's what I'll say. I heard somebody say this, and I can't remember who it was, but I heard somebody say, "Why would you go to a company and not go after the champion? What's your purpose of coming to a company and not going after the world champion?" And it makes sense from a logic standpoint. If I go into a company, it's like, I don't care about the lower. I want to go for the title, but at the same time, you do want to build somebody up too. Like, so I'm okay with if she targets Jordan and Jordan's like, back of the line, honey. I got enough people to deal with first. You just got here. So she can let her know she's on notice, but you can't get a title shot yet. I just never liked that they were just giving guys title shots the second they walked in the door.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
Yeah.
It's like, who are you to get a title shot? So if they do it right, Deonna could be great. I'd love to see Deonna done right by the Knockouts division. And then can we get, and there's a lot of buzz, Jay, about those Knockouts tag team titles. I have a feeling these are coming back. These got to be backstage somewhere, man. Even the Knockouts are talking about it.
Maybe that's what the confrontation, or maybe that what people are assuming, like I assumed it was a confrontation. Maybe it's not a confrontation.
Could be. Could very well be, man. We'll find out. All right. I think that's going to wrap it up for today, guys. Let's get the plugs in here, Jay. That's awesome. That's the Impact Plus Weekly. Go ahead, Jay. Guys, thanks for all the questions. That was fun. I think I want to do a format for the show from now on, Jay. I think we'll do that. Cover Xplosion, cover Impact Plus, and then open forum. Let's talk. It's a Sunday night. It's chill. The main shows are Mondays and Tuesdays, Throwback in Maine and TNI. So Sunday night could be a little check-in before we all kind of kick off our week. Let's see how things are going. I'm totally down for that if you are, Jay.
A little Q&A, if you will. Hell yeah.
It's not. Hey, wait a minute. Everybody's been asking what I'm drinking over here. Miller Harris he's thinking it's Ripple. Ripple or champagne. It's not Ripple. Every time I think of Ripple, I think of Sanford and Son because they drink Ripple on that show. It is a Pellegrino bottle. This is fancy anniversary edition Pellegrino. Fancy stuff. You're making the big bucks on TNI, guys. Drinking that fancy Pellegrino. Little do they know, Jay. I just fill it up. I fill it back up with filtered water. Right back up in the same bottle. But you know nobody has to know that. Is this mic on?
check 1 2 1 2.
Yes, not rippled though. So you guys cool with that? You guys cool with us doing that? Maybe like open forum, like cover the show, cover Impact Plus, talk about the news, and then open forum to close the show out. If that you guys like that, let us know. Tweet us at We Talk Impact. The link's at the bottom. We Talk Impact on Twitter. Let us know if you guys like that idea. We'll definitely do it. People listening on audio, let us know as well. Definitely, guys, chime in. Send your questions in if you want a Q&A, something read. We'll read it on Sunday night, so we'll put that up for you if you can't listen live. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and close on that note, Jay. Where can people find you? Thank you, Bill. Where can people find you on social media? I know your Smash This Podcast is back up again. Yeah, we got some action over there. We got some activity.
Oh yeah, Smash This Podcast is back up and running again. Doing it a few times a week. Plus, I just started up the Jacked Up Jukebox, which is music related. Usually in the realm of hard rock and heavy metal, maybe throwing in a little bit of wrestling music, theme, news, stuff like that. It could be anything. You never know what's going to show up on the jukebox. That's why it's jacked up. So you can follow Smash This Podcast on all formats, YouTube, including Instagram, Facebook, the Twitter box, Instagram, whatever. Did I say Instagram? Okay. Yeah. And you can find me personally over on the Twitter box at Jaybone5150. That's Jaybone 5150.
All right, there you go, guys. Definitely check out Jaybone on that. Guys, don't forget, you can also find the show on audio formats, wherever podcasts are found, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, and Geo7, and our listeners in India. Geo7, I don't think it's limited to India only. I know it's based out of India. So, guys, anybody knows about this, please tell me. If you're listening on Geo7, please let me know. How does it sound? How do we come through? Do you like it? Do you like us being on there? Give me feedback. We just signed out. I think this is going to be the first show on there. So definitely check it out, guys. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. If you're not subscribed already, look up Total Nonstop Impact on YouTube. The channel's on there every Monday night. NWA TNA Throwback Show. Tomorrow night, number 28. We're jumping in. We're in 2003, guys. Jumping into 2003 already. So we'll be kicking off number 28 tomorrow. And then Tuesday night, the big show, the big pickle of the TNI network, Jaybone. Total Nonstop Impact, the weekly show. Larry the Big Pickle. That's the first thing came to my mind. Did you say
the Big Pickle?
That's the first thing that came to my mind. That's all I can think of, right? It's Sunday night. Give me a break. Give me a break, Jaybone. Tuesday night, Larry Dallas joining us. We should be okay. Hopefully things stay stable in the country. Nothing goes nuts. Everybody's internet stays together. And we'll be here Tuesday night. Co-stream. Don't forget, guys, we're co-streaming too. We're going to watch the show on Tuesday night with everybody on Twitch at Total Nonstop Impact on Twitch. Check us out there. Don't forget ProWrestlingTees.com/Total Nonstop Impact. 3 t-shirt designs. I'm going to get a 4th one up this week. 4 t-shirts will be up, guys. Take a look, get your official t-shirt. Thank you to everybody who has bought one. And Jaybone's going to plug one thing. If you bought a t-shirt, Jay, we're gonna bring you on the show if you want to come on the show. What show we're going to bring him on, Jaybone?
I think we're going to bring him on this one. We're going to bring him on the Impact Plus Weekly.
There you go. If you guys want to come on.
And as much as some people might be like, no, I want to be on the review, we're trying to keep that open to other stuff, you know. Not saying it's not ever going to happen, but I think that this particular show is a great time to do it. It's the weekend. Not that, people don't have plans on a weekend, but whatever, it's just, it might get other people more interested in this little show too. So, there you go.
We'll do it on this one, or if you prefer, you can come on the Throwback Show. How's that? We'll give you those two because we keep those pretty open, this one and Throwback. The main show, we got 4 of us on there already, and we have guests, so we don't want to overdo that one. So if you buy a t-shirt, take your pick. You're welcome. People have already bought some. People who have bought, take your picks, guys. You can come on one of these shows with us, hang out, do the review, do some Q&A. We'll get you on the show if you want to do it. So let us know. Just tweet us at We Talk Impact, DM us, whatever you need to do. Let us know. Give us a heads up. All right. Anything else? All social media at We Talk Impact, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, We Talk Impact. Definitely give us a follow. Just search Total Nonstop Impact Podcast. Take a look. Guys, a little side note. I was on Front Row Material with Mike Freeland this week. 2-hour interview, Jaybone. 2 hours he listened to me about my life.
I listened to that this morning. Dude, that was tremendous.
Thank you. If you guys listen to Front Row Material, that is Mike Freeland's podcast that he hosts with Jerry Lynn and Mikey Whipwreck, ECW legends. Friend of the show. Mike Freeland's an amazing dude, and last minute wanted to get me on. I've been friends with Mike for a little bit, and they do a Friday night show where it's just kind of a interview, kind of catch up, shoot the shit kind of show. And we went 2 hours, Jaybone, just talking about everything. So, guys, definitely take a listen to Front Row Material. It's on iTunes and all the majors. It's from MLW Radio, so take a look at that. And let me know what you think of my interview. You know, let me know what you guys think of me on Front Row Material. It's like my whole life story in a way. But,
it is. To sum it up, he's our Chris Jericho.
Yeah, that's what he called me. I was like, then what did he say? He said something. Well, I'm going to get some heat with Mikey Whipwreck too. You got to listen to find out. He got me some heat with Mikey Whipwreck too, Jaybone. He's got me major heat.
Like 2 minutes in, it's like, oh, he's in trouble.
Heat magnet with Mikey Whipwreck already. The guy's going to kill me. But take a listen, guys. Polar Family's having audio trouble. I'm sorry, man. I don't know what's going on with your audio, but we're going good here. But guys, take a listen to it. Let me know what you think. But again, tomorrow night, NWA TNA number 28. If you have Impact Plus, if you don't, get your 30-day free trial. Watch number 28. Join on the conversation, and we'll be here tomorrow night. All right, Jaybone, I miss anything?
No, that's it, brother.
Cue that exit video up. Guys, thank you very much. Have a wonderful week. Please stay safe. Please wash your hands. Stay clean. Take care of your families. Take care of your loved ones. It's a tough world out there. Things are getting a little rough up and down, but please take care of yourselves. Be good to each other. Be nice to each other. Right? Be nice. Be nice or leave. Be nice or leave. I'm going to end the show with that, Jaybone. Be nice or leave. We'll see you tomorrow night, guys. Thank you very much. Good night.
Be nice or make like a tree and split.
This is the real Impact Wrestling World Champion, Big Michael Elgin, and you're listening to Total Nonstop Impact.
This is the jaw-jacking Tuesday Night Impact, and his mother called him son because he shines like one. Mocha Skin Manimal, Rohit Raju, and you are watching Total Nonstop Impact.
This is Taya La Güera Loca, and you are listening to Total Nonstop Impact.
The Walking Weapon, Josh Alexander, and you're listening to Total Nonstop Impact.
We are the Rascals. And you are listening to Total
Nonstop
Impact Podcast, baby.
Woo! And what you're really listening to is